Hey, this is New Line of Business, and today we are on the second episode of the Zombies map ranking series that I'm starting on my channel. And today we're going to be looking at the map 9, or as most commonly known as IX1X. I don't know, but it is 9 because in Roman numerals that is 9. Because of like the cult name, that's just a bunch of zombies lore. So let's get down to business. As always, we're going to be ranking the map on the wonder weapon, the Easter egg, how good like high rounds are for high round players, fun, complexion of the map, and an overall out of 10 rating. So let's start off with the wonder weapon on 9, the Death of Orion. In my opinion, this is actually my least favorite wonder weapon in Call of Duty Zombies history. Yes, it does include the Scavenger, the VR11, like all those like trash BO2 wonder weapons. Yes, that includes all of those. I hate the Death of Orion. It does very little damage with its single shot. Its charge shot is a tiny bit better. With like it links a bunch of zombies together, but that really doesn't do anything because that splits them up, and then you have to actually aim, especially if you're going for high rounds or there's a massive group, you want to just be able to just pour rounds into them. But then if they're all up in the air, they're kind of like stringed together, they're far away, and that just makes it harder for you to hit the zombies and to actually do any damage. It's also, but it's Easter egg quest to get it is okay. It's definitely one of the better ones, but overall, the wonder weapon, I do not like the wonder weapon. There was actually no other wonder weapon on this map because there's no ray gun like Unclassified or Blood of the Dead. Although I do think they should have put Alistair's Folly as kind of a ray gun replacement and then put another wonder weapon on Dead of the Night. That's just my opinion. Overall, Death of Orion, Pack-a-Punch, or Saquette's Kiss, not a good wonder weapon, in my opinion, though. It's an okay wonder weapon, actually, practically, but I just don't like it, and I never use it unless I'm using it for the challenge, which is probably, I'm pretty sure, what you're going to see in this gameplay. It's because I'm preparing for that one challenge. Now let's go on to the 9 Easter egg. I think the 9 Easter egg is actually really well done. It's kind of similar to Garad Krovi's, where like the challenges is also kind of similar to Blood's, where like each four gods have like challenges. You have to go do different things. Danu's, I'm gonna go over the challenges just kind of separately quickly. Danu's, I think, it's a good starting one because of the amount of stuff you have to pick up. It's a good one to start off with. Roz is a bit hard, especially with a team, because of the amount of zombies that spawn, and you have to coordinate which ones to kill, and especially at the end, or like the second stage of it, it's pretty hard, but it is doable. Zeus's, that one's okay. Odin's I like a lot, like the end with like in the pit and the shield. I like that one a lot. And then the final boss fight with the 2 elephants, or like you kill the one elephant and the other one comes in. I do think the snipers are a bit overpowered. I don't know if they've patched it, where like the snipers could one hit you on top of the elephants. Like that was in like when 9 was first released. I don't know if they've fixed that or changed that. But back when Bo4 was first released, the snipers could one-shot you. I don't know if they've changed that, but 9 Easter egg, pretty good, especially as I said, I think Danu's challenge is the best because of how you have to get like the poop with low affinity, the skull, and the wood piece. I think it's a good round to like really have to start the Easter egg. Like Blood of the Dead's round to like really start the Easter egg and get it going is way too high. I think being able to like start it around like round 10 is good. Overall Easter egg, it's a pretty good Easter egg and I like it a lot. Moving on to high rounds on 9. High rounds on 9 they're not as fun as they could be. If they had a better wonder weapon, it could be more fun to play high rounds, but like literally all you do in high rounds is run around the arena with a Helion Salvo and Homunculuses and a Hammer Valhalla and just like delete hordes within seconds. It's just it's fun kind of, but if it had a better wonder weapon to kind of mix it up, I think it would be much better. That's why Blood of the Dead high rounds are so awesome, because there's 4 technically different wonder weapons. There's the Sweeper, the Vitrolic Withering, the Magmus Operandi, and the Porter's X2 ray gun, like Alpaca Punch. Like, that's just why I think maps, the more wonder weapons, like the more balanced wonder weapons you have in a map, the more fun high rounds are, because it just kind of mixes it up and makes the game fun. That's why I love classified high rounds. Unless you're trying to go for the Easter egg, then that's the most boring thing ever. But I think classified high rounds, the Winter's Howl and the Winter's Fury, they're so fun. But Nine's Wonder Weapon is just, it's not that fun, and that's what makes high rounds, like, not as fun to go for, because there's nothing really just spamming all of, like, the area, like, getting rid of, like, AoE damage and using AoE damage, and it's just so, like, fast to tear through hordes. Although I do like how many different zombie types there are. There's, like, the Catalyst zombies to start off, that's 4. And then there's 4 others, the Blightfather, the Gladiator, the Brawler, and the Tigers. Tigers, I think, are a bit too OP because they could one-hit down you, but then they changed it. They're a bit more powerful than the dogs. But yeah, high rounds on 9, they're okay. Like, some aspects of it are awesome, the others not as good. Like, the guns, not as good, but the actual, like, enemies and zombies, they're okay. Now, going on to the fun of 9. This kind of ties in with high rounds and the Easter egg. 9 is a fun map to set up on because of the challenges, getting pack open, going through different gladiators. It is a bit expensive to set up because if you want to actually be able to move efficiently, you have to open the Zeus and Odin front doors, which you have to open from the other way, so you have to go all the way under the map, go up. But it is a bit of a smaller map, very symmetrical, because, like, it's literally the exact same thing, just kind of with different colors and different designs around. It's kind of fun to look at when you're, like, running through the underground, like, going through all, like, getting the part locations. It's good to, like, get the shield. Shield's really easy to build. Getting set up is really fun, but once you finish all your challenges, once you get pack open, once you get the shield built, once you've opened everything on the map, it's as I said before in the high rounds, just spamming Hammer Valhalla, Homunculuses, and, like, really the Helion Salvo. There's no change in the high rounds. There's some change in the high rounds in other maps, but not really in this map, because if there were more challenges, it would be much more fun, because you could keep the challenges going longer, because usually if you're going for an efficient strategy, you stay in the arena until you get the upgraded strife, and then you could just mow through all of the champions. But then after that, really, it's kind of slower. It's like really fast until the final few challenges. Then it kind of gets slowed down, and then that's not really as fun. And then the rewards, I feel like the rewards for some of the challenges aren't as good. Like the one LMG, the non-pack-a-punch LMG, I think that's like the end of the second row of challenges. I don't think that's good enough, because you probably already have both of your guns, if not maybe only one, packed by the time you finish those challenges. But the packed Hades and the extra perk are really fun to get and a good reward. I do think I'm gonna talk about this more complexion, but, like, the other way you get the free perk with, like, the Odin Easter egg, it's a bit too hard, especially with the final step. But yeah, it's a fun map to set up on. But not as fun in the high rounds because there's almost no variety. Moving on to complexion of the map. 9 is a pretty complex map. It's not complex to open pack, and the shield parts are pretty easy to memorize. But other than that, there are some, like, the Easter egg is pretty complex, but, like, once you know what you're doing, the setting up and, like, actually getting the Easter egg is pretty easy once you actually know what you're doing. But it is a pretty complex map, I do have to say, which I actually like. That's why I really like Origins, because of how complex it is. But, like, yeah, as we were talking about earlier, the Viking Easter egg for Odin, you have to go around, get the sword, the shield, no, not the shield, the helmet and the cup, put that on, like, the Viking and, like, the boat, and then, like, the hard part and the most annoying part that I've never been able to do is throw the Wraithfire from Zeus all the way to Odin. That, it isn't complex, but it's hard, and it shouldn't be that hard to get something just, like, as a free perk, which might end up being something really bad, like, I don't know, time slip, when you've already finished setting up. But 9, a really complex map, which I really like. lots of different variety of the challenges because it makes you like forces you to go all around the map. That's why setting up is so much fun on this map, because of kind of like all the stuff you have to do, and then once you get set up, as I've said many times, it's not really super fun. So an overall out of 10 rating on 9. I think I'm going to have to give 9 a 6.5. If it had one more wonder weapon and a better wonder weapon, in my opinion, that would boost it up quite a lot. If it had a more fun experience on high rounds, then yes, that would kind of be much higher up, possibly even in the 9.5. Probably would not never give a map a 10 out of 10 because there's almost always something wrong with a map, or something that you can criticize with a map, or something that's not super good on a map. But yeah, 6.5 out of 10. Looks like I'm basically done here. I will see you all next time. I'm so good at mediocre at everything I do.